Chapter 7 More on Scratch. Coordinates. Scratch uses a coordinate system to determine the position of a sprite. It uses two values, x position and y position. These values together form a coordinate. The x position defines the horizontal position, whereas the y position defines the vertical position of the sprite. The stage is a rectangle, which is divided into a grid of 480 times 360 pixels. Here, x position can range from -240 to 240 and has a total value of 480. The extreme right side of the stage has the value 240, while the extreme left side has the value -240. Similarly, the y position has the total value 360, varying from -180 to 180. The top of the stage area has the value 180, while the bottom of the stage area has the value -180. The coordinates are written in the form of x, y. Repositioning a sprite. There are three motion blocks that help in moving a sprite to a specified location on the stage. A. The block allows us to move the sprite to the specified coordinates. B. The block moves the sprite to the specified location for a specified number of seconds. C. The block moves the sprite to any random position on the stage. For example, the script given below makes a sprite look as if it is going out of stage. Events block. The events blocks have commands that trigger either a single script or multiple scripts. An event can take place by clicking of a mouse button, pressing of a keyboard key, or clicking on any icon or a sprite. The table given below describes the use of some of the blocks from the events category. Block description. When clicked, this block runs a script when the green flag is clicked. When space key pressed, the block runs blocks under it when the specified key is pressed. When the sprite clicked, this block runs a script when the sprite is clicked. When the sprite clicked, when I received message, this block runs a script when a specific message is received by a sprite. Broadcast message. This block allows sprite sends messages without any pauses in the scripts. Broadcast message and wait. This block allows sprite send messages and wait for a specified time. Sensing block. The sensing blocks are used to detect some actions, such as the location of the mouse pointer, whether a sprite is touching another sprite, or a key is pressed. It is also used to take input from the user. The table given below lists some of the sensing blocks. Block description. Touching mouse pointer. This block tests if the sprite is touching the mouse pointer, edge of the stage, or another sprite. Touching color. This block tests if the sprite is touching a specified color. Key space pressed. This block tests if a key is pressed on the keyboard. Color is touching. This block tests if the first color is touching the second color. Ask, "What's your name?" and wait. This block shows the question text next to the sprite and waits for an input from the user. Answer. This block stores the text entered from the keyboard. Asking a question. The ask, "What's your name?" and wait block is used to ask a question from the user. The question appears in the speech bubble on the screen. The program then waits for the user to type a response. Control block. Sometimes, it might be required to perform a task based on given conditions. This decision-making is possible in Scratch using the control blocks. The table given below lists the purpose of the control blocks. Block description. If then, this block checks the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the blocks inside if. If then else. This block checks the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the blocks inside the first section. Otherwise, it executes the blocks inside the second section. The if-then block checks for a condition. If the condition is true, it executes the code. Otherwise, it does nothing. For example, in this code, if the sprite touches the edge of the stage, it will go to any random position. The if-then-else block first checks the condition in the if block. If the condition is true, it executes the commands in the if block. Otherwise, it executes the commands in the else block. For example, if the sprite touches the edge of the stage, it will go to any random position. Otherwise, it will switch to the next costume. Let us now create an interesting story. There is a hungry caterpillar. You need to use left and right arrow keys to help caterpillar eat the leaf. Using operators. Scratch provides you with the tools to perform a variety of operations. Operator blocks are the blocks that perform math functions and string handling. They are light green in color and used to perform logical comparisons, rounding, and other arithmetic operations. They are used to script math equations and string handling. There are many kinds of operators. Therefore, the easiest way to study them is to divide them into categories such as the following: arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators. Arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators allow you to code programs that add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Block description. Add. The block adds two values and reports the results. Subtracts. The block subtracts the second value from the first and reports the result. Multiplies. The block multiplies the two values and reports the results. Divides. The block divides the second value from the first and returns the result. Both numbers and variables can be used. Refer to the script given below. The second example asks the user to enter a number to subtract from 50. The subtraction operation performs this request using a number and a variable. Relational operators. Scratch has three operators that allow you to compare the relationship between two values or variables. It compares the two and decide whether it is true or false. If the comparison is true, the program executes the next line of code. Scratch also allows operators to compare numbers. Block description. Equal. The block checks if the first value is equal to the other value. If the values are equal, the block returns true. If not, false. This block is not case sensitive. Less than. The block checks if the first value is less than the second value. If it is less, the block returns true. If not, it returns false. This block works with letters as well as numbers. In Scratch, letters at the top of the alphabet, e.g. A, B, C, are worth less than letters at the end. Greater than. The block checks if the first value is greater than the other value. If the second value is less, the block returns true. If not, it returns false. The following program is a number guessing game. The program tells you that it is thinking of a number between 1 and 100 and asks the user to enter a guess number. The program checks to see if the guessed number is less than its number. If it is, appropriate message is displayed. If the guessed number is not less than the number, the program checks to see if the guessed number is larger than its number. If it is, appropriate message is displayed. If your guess is not less than and is not greater than the number, both numbers must be equal. The program tells you that you are correct and displays its number. Logical operators. Logical operators test whether conditions are true or false. There are three logical operators: and, or, and not. Block description. And the block joins to Boolean blocks, so they both have to be true too. Return true. If they are both true, the block returns true. If they are not all true or none true, it returns false. Or the block joins to Boolean blocks, so any one of them can be true. To return true, not the block checks if the Boolean inside it is false. If it is false, the block returns true. If the condition is true, it returns false. Or operator. Use the following script. If the guessed number is less than or greater than the number, the user did not guess the correct number. And operator and not operator. The following script uses both the and operator and the not operator. When you compare two numbers, if the number is neither less than nor greater than the other number, the only choice left is that it is equal to the other number. If the guess is less than or greater than the number, you did not guess the correct number. In summary, the stage is a rectangle divided into a grid of 480 times 360 pixels. X position and Y position together form a coordinate. The events block has commands that trigger either a single script or multiple scripts. The sensing block is used to detect some actions. The control block has looping. The conditional statement blocks are used for decision making. In the if block, if the condition is true, the code inside the block gets executed. In the if-else block, if the condition is true, the code inside the if block gets executed. Otherwise, the code inside the else block gets executed. Operator blocks are the blocks that perform math functions and string handling. There are currently 18 operators blocks, 7 Boolean blocks, and 11 reporter blocks. Arithmetic operators allow you to code programs that add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Logical operators test whether conditions are true or false. There are three logical operators: and, or, and not.